Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra, with me Shail Bhatnagar, and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the closing action on the D Street. We have been seeing subdued trade on the D Street so far this afternoon. We can see 23,529 on the Nifty. 0.7% of a fall is what we can spot. Barring the FMCG index, all the other sectors are down in the red. You can see realty index that's lost over 2%, oil and gas that's down nearly 2%. Infra, PSU banks, metals, all upwards of 1% of a cut can be seen. On the Nifty as well, there are just a handful of stocks which are still hovering in the green, especially led by some of the auto names like M&M, Bajaj Auto, for instance. Then you have FMCG names like Nestle, HUL pulling up about 1.5% odd in trade. And then you also have stocks like Britannia. So again, it's the FMCG and auto space that's still hovering higher. On the lower end, ONGC, which was so far hovering higher in the last 4 days of trade, you can see ONGC now down by 3% odd. So some of those gains are being taken out. Shriram Finance, Coal India, BPCL, Tata Motors are some of the other top laggards as of now. In the F&O space, you have SRF that's actually showing substantial move, now 12.8% higher. Along with this, there is Navin Fluorine, Indraprastha Gas, some such stocks that are actually up and about in trade. Good afternoon, Shail.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and you will see this small death happening on a daily basis. I'll request the PCR to kindly fire the US 10-year yield chart that I have sent since morning. Unless this comes down below 4%, there is little chance even in hell for Indian equities to sort of regain their composure on the long side. So what will happen is that on a daily basis, you'll see small cuts happening. It's like, dying a slow death, and that is what is happening on the Nifty. Every day we see 100 point, 50 point, 150 point cut, and on one particular day you will see a 300 point cut. So that is what is happening. If you see the long term chart of the Nifty, it's an exact mirror image of this one, only pointing downwards. So unless the US 10-year yield shrinks from 4% below, this is what I am trying to say, that it's an exact opposite. I wish I could plot both on a single screen, but I can't. But you can make out that this is a mirror image of the US 10-year yield. And unless that sort of slips below 4%, there is little hope for Indian equities on the longer side. More importantly, the third quarter earnings are likely to be muted. The first to be off the hook of the races is TCS, and in any case for them third quarter is potentially muted. The two shining stars today are SRF heading towards a record high, and a 6-month high on Navin Fluorine. The reason is very simple. Both of them make refrigerant gases, and in America the prices of refrigerant gases have gone up substantially, and that's the kicker that you've seen in coming both on SRF and Navin Fluorine. Just the volume itself is phenomenal. If you look at on SRF, Navin was the top traded counter in early trade, but these two are the ones that have sparked rally. Sakshi, on chemical stocks, after 3 years, you know, a lot of those names are coming back to our brains. Alkyl amines, Balaji amines, then Gujarat Fluorochem, all of them have now woken up after 3.5 years of just sleep. So 2,400 crores worth of transaction on SRF. Navin Fluorine has a transaction worth 1,200 crores. These are multi-month volume highs as far as both counters are concerned. Yesterday it was the NBFC space, and today we have the chemical space showing signs of life. Both of them were beaten black and blue. Sakshi.
Absolutely. Let's welcome our guest on board then. Kunal Rambia, founder of The Streets, is now with us. Kunal, is it going to be lying low till the time we finally go on till the budget, or do you think some earnings surprise can actually pull Nifty from this absolutely narrow band of trade?
Good afternoon, Sakshi. Good afternoon, Shail sir. Good afternoon to all our viewers also. So if you look at the Nifty behavior, it's been precisely 60 days that we are in the same sideways consolidation. This consolidation started on 13th of November, and this is the present zone, which is 23,500, which Nifty actually tested 4 times And every time there was a minor bounce, as what Shelser rightly pointed out, that it's a slow dead thing which is happening on the street as of now. But unless the Nifty falls below 23,500, I think this sideways momentum is likely to continue. And if we look at the historical data, it's been almost a year we are still at the same level itself. So I don't foresee immediate panic coming in unless Nifty falls below 23,500 zone.
So in the meantime, what should we do, Yash? I'm so sorry, Kunal. Should we just go on a leave or, wait for that to happen on a magical morning someday and then maybe start an upward journey? What do you think is happening on this fairly regular 150, 100, 150 point cut on the Nifty? Where is adequate support coming in, and your view on Reliance?
So again, Shel sir, as we discussed, Nifty near to 23,500, the logical technical approach should be to buy near support. But as far as the indices are concerned, there is no momentum as such. So stock-specific moves are likely to continue. Now we saw the good momentum coming in Borosil Renewables. Today we saw good momentum in HUL. In fact, these were the counters which were near the support itself, and they have shown momentum in last 10 to 15 days also. Britannia was on the charts for the day when it gave a good momentum reversal sign. Chemical sector is doing good per se. So these are the counters which we can watch out for rather than going on holiday. But at the same time, if the index picks up from the present level, then obviously we can focus on index also. When it comes to Reliance, the counter is doing phenomenally better because again it bounced from the extreme low level. The support on the futures chart is 1220. It is down today, but if it remains in this range of 1250, 560 to 1220, I think this can be a good accumulation zone. Below 1220, the bearish view might just continue, and then we can expect the levels of 1160 kind of levels. But otherwise, from here on, we might see the bounce coming in Reliance also.
Sakshi, what is really interesting, just look at the chart of Britannia. I'll request the PCR to fire a longer term chart for the last maybe 6 months or so. So we've seen a high of 6,000. This is intraday, and there is an interesting feature that you'll see just coming on your screen. Okay. Now this sideways thing that you see from say mid November is the 200-day DMA. And today the bounce came from 200-day DMA only because the market seems to be on defensive. But yes, at 5,000 levels, which is a perfect call writing option zone, वहाँ से selling आ गई. So this is what is happening, that any intraday bounce is getting sold into. It happens with the Nifty on a regular basis. The moment it hits a round number, especially 27,800, 23,800, there is heavy selling pressure. So it's becoming very, very difficult. Now look at 23,500. You'll see a small bounce. Then maybe tomorrow or in the next week, you will see a 300-point test happening on the Nifty below 23,500. And then over 1 week 23,500 will also go. तो आप कीजिए तैयारी 22,000 की, यही होने वाला है. कुछ कहीं सब जगह वो कहते हैं ना धुआं धुआं दिख रहा है, कुछ ऐसा है नहीं. On a specific day they keep one sector alive to keep the bulls happy, but overall they are using Reliance to sort of make sure that the fall on the Nifty is not worrisome. सबका blood pressure नहीं बढ़ना चाहिए. And then one fine day we'll see a 300-point cut again. It happened last week.
Absolutely. So do you think earnings will have something to bring back the cheer to the Nifty right now, Kunal? Does that look promising? Because there are some reports, I think I was reading this Nuvama Equities report, which has actually pointed out to a fact that this time around 45 companies could report double-digit profit slump in Q3. And what they have also said is that the Nifty EPS growth for FY25 is just expected to be about 2% than the earlier estimates of mid-teen growth. So that's the kind of sharp, downward expectation that brokerage houses are now coming up with as far as the earnings are concerned. What is your own sense?
Sakshi, we have been discussing about this even in the past, that market fairly discounts every information. So considering that, if I just look at the counters which are extremely near the support, let's take an example of IT sector TCS. Now this TCS was somewhere near to 4,500 somewhere in the mid of December. Right now it's down by around 10% and it's near to the support level where it actually started its rally. That was 4,000 to 4,500. It's back to the same zone itself. So for me, risk reward ratio is extremely favorable on such counters which are near the levels of those previous bottoms and from where they are turning around again. So I think there is a lot of room for upside on these selected pockets. But as you rightly mentioned, if the slump is going to be even more and the earnings are going to be deprived, then markets have already discounted that also. Currency discounting has already happened. In fact, these individual pockets have also shown good correction. So more or less, the time correction is something which we have seen in market, and as what sir rightly mentioned, 22,000 की अगर तैयारी हो जाती है, then I think price correction and time correction can give us good opportunity going forward. So stock specific views have to be developed based on the extreme low levels on the support side.
Okay, let's look at the volume buzzer, Sakshi, on NSE 500. I'll request the PCR to fire the chart of alkylamine and Balaji amines. Both of them are up 11 and 12% respectively, and they are coming out of hibernation after 3 years. Today's volume is 34 times on 5-day average on alkylamines, which is 19 lakh shares, and Balaji amines has a volume multiple of 27 times, which is 24.5 lakhs. So if you see the long term charts, they've come back into action post May 2020, and the all time high is fairly away. See, look at this, look at the all time high of Balaji amines. Alkylamines is 4600, we are now at 1936 after a 11% rise. So this is the time correction that has happened. You can just make out on the chart, and suddenly you get this news. We don't know what will happen tomorrow. So this is just a flash in the pan, just as we don't know what is happening to Credit Axis, 5-star, Fusion, Samman Capital, and which was Spandana Spurti. So see, it was let's just see today's price on Credit Axis Grameen and Spandana Spurti. So you will see how this unpredictable on a daily basis it is. See, 27 rupees lower, and we don't know whether tomorrow you will see 4 digits or not. So this is the problem, that there is no continuation and no pre-budget rally is happening. Everybody is waiting for January 20th. ट्रम्प साहब अपनी कुर्सी पर विराजमान होंगे और फिर वो ट्वीट करना बंद करेंगे कि जी मैं तो ग्रीनलैंड भी हमारा है और कनाडा भी हमारा है, पनामा कैनाल भी हमारा है. उसके बाद यूएस 10 ईयर यील्ड शांत होगी और फिर 4-5 दिन के लिए आपको प्री बजट रैली दिखेगी. ये आप लिख लीजिए.
Interesting. Okay, so Kunal, today I think I can spot some auto names also up in top gear. Bajaj Auto, for instance, that's been sliding down from October onwards. You can see it at 8,800 now, 2% higher. Do you think this one will finally get its mojo back or no?
So again, Sakshi, let's just go back and check out the historical data. March 2024, on the 2 years chart, you can very clearly see this. March 2024 and April 2024, counter was near to 8,700. From there, it spiked again. It retested the same zone in July, and it's the third time where it's near to that 8,700 zone itself. And so, again, as I've been saying consistently, near support, we wait for the reversal. Now, what are the reversal signs? Simply putting a simple technical condition is that it should enter into higher top, higher bottom. So from here, if Bajaj Auto goes above 9,150, that's the breakout zone one can consider for momentum trading. If someone is a positional trader, then for them, 8,600 to 8,650 seems a good support level. Consider that as the buying opportunity and place a stop below, say below that level by 100, 150 points. That's 1.5%. I think that can be good strategy on such counters.
And Sakshi, look at this. The low on November 21st was 23,263. Now that comes into action once 23,500 breaks, which is just, we are at 245. It will break before 3, I'm very sure. Maybe it will break before 250. So that's what it is. Maybe a slight bump up from 23,500. They will just test it, and then call writers will become even more active. and then you will have this sharp fall down. So, let us get ready for 23,263. This is also the weekly expiry on the Nifty today. So, weakness persists. Let us look at Bank Nifty, 400 points down, and this is despite, Sakshi, some of the best business updates coming in from PSU banks, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Bank Nifty is in terrible pain. This is the lowest that you have seen since 18th June 24.
Wow.
So, it's how much? 6 plus 1, 7-month low, and more importantly, small caps and mid caps have lost about 7-8% since the past 1 month. I am talking about the index.
Very true.
Kunalji, I think you must change your seat and you must visit us in Delhi to change sentiment on the Lal Street. कुछ तो टोटका करना पड़ेगा.
I'll probably plan that after Trump resumes the position in office.
अरे आप दिल्ली आ रहे हो, डरो मत, हम यहाँ बैठे हैं ना, क्या देख लेंगे. But I must warn you, it is so cold that even I have not shaved for 3-4 days. Sakshi has an excuse. Every morning she says, I'll do it tomorrow, you do in the morning. Very cold.
Well, there is this one bright spot, if you may say, but a mixed number that's coming in from mutual funds. Equity mutual fund inflows rose by 15% in December to 41,000 odd crore rupees. But debt funds saw an outflow of 1.2 lakh crores. And one more positive, for the first time, the SIP flows have crossed 26,000 crores for the first time. So that has happened. So the confidence of us retail investors that continues despite this kind of subdued action for the 4th month running in the markets now. Kunal, of course, retail investors have been the king of 2024. FIIs have in an exodus left us, to ourselves. If they continue to do so, do you think the retail investors will be able to carry on the momentum they have done so far?
Historically, again, what we have seen is that the fear of missing out rallies have always been in the euphoric phase, have always been at the peak when the markets are near the high, and people start panicking when the markets are near the low. The only change what I foresee right now is that SIP penetration was never the way it is right now compared to the past. So I think if the retail investor continues that disciplined approach towards the market for the next 1.5 year, I think they will always remain on more or less on the positive side of the market. Again, SIP should not be considered as a short-term investment. That's something one needs to keep in mind. And considering that, I think more or less they'll be on the right side.
But what's really interesting, Sakshi, is that as long as these SIPs continue, you will see sustained FII selling, because they are getting a very easy exit, and mutual funds will keep on buying. On every single day we see they more or less matching, if not exceeding, these data purchases, and it essentially means that the fall will be orderly, is all I want to say, because mutual funds have no money on their own, right? Unless you put in a SIP, they can't be buying, and SIP continues. Therefore, this fall will be more or less fairly reasonable. Okay, so this is the data that's there in front of me. What was the December number, Sakshi?
25,000 something. I'll just pull up that.
25,320 it was yesterday. So in April, okay, so from April 2024, in these 6 months, consecutively, monthly SIPs have exceeded 20,000 crores, and in the last 3 months they have exceeded 25,000 crores. So that's a big number that is coming in, and let's hope it continues, because that provides the cushion.
So November it was 25,320 crores.
Correct.
And in December this time, which has come in today, 26,459 crores.
Okay, and December last year it was 17,610. So 17 goes to 26, right? So that's 9. 9 on 17 is roughly 8.5, 50% uptick in a year.
Wow.
And remember, this is not the rise in the value of the market. This is rise in the value of the SIP. So, December 2023, let's see what was the Nifty close. 10% lower, na?
Yeah.
Because that's the annual number. So, that should be. क्या करें, ये मैथमेटिक्स करनी पड़ रही है, बाजार में कुछ है नहीं बात करने को. I mean, you might be wondering why I'm doing all this. So 21,600 was the 21,700 was the number. Well, at least something is growing.
Exactly, exactly. But at least we are holding on to that
Yes.
23,500 mark as well on the Nifty. That's at least not given up yet. So let's hope it carries on, and one more day we stretch beyond that 23,500. But Kunal,
Actually, one
are you going to be?
interesting-
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, please go ahead, please go ahead.
So I'm saying that, are you looking at any particular pocket ahead of budget, or are you going to be only taking an action after the budget also?
No, certainly. So, just I was about to share that itself, that the counters like, say, IndusInd Bank, which have shown massive correction, right?
Yeah.
And the counters which were trading at around 1,500 is available to us at 1,000 rupees right now, 985 to be precise. Now, these are the counters which are showing some kind of accumulation on the charts, and the counter which I just wanted to discuss was IndusInd itself. Look at the chart; it's been in sideways consolidation for almost 2.5 months, right? And on the lower side, it's not even breaking now 960 levels. Right now, it's trading at 985, and good momentum is already seen. Good volumes are happening even on the hourly chart, where the accumulation is very clearly seen. I think if by any chance Nifty and indices recover from these levels, then these counters might take the leadership. I'm not denying the fact that HDFC and ICICs of the world can be the first, but yeah, I'm more comfortable with my risk reward ratio, and considering that, I think these are the counters to watch out for. IndusInd can be a good play from here with 20 points on the lower side as a stop loss, but on the upside we can expect 45-50 rupees also.
And again, what's really interesting is lots of banks actually have recovered to their previous record highs. Some of them have gone ahead. Look at ICICI, even to some extent even Axis. But here is IndusInd Bank. The all-time high was 2250 if I am not wrong, and we are way, way below, given the number that you see here. So 985, if you just go back into memory 5 years ago, you will see a number exceeding 2200. It just couldn't recover its pre-COVID high, and that's a bit of a problem. See, that's what I said. 2023, this was in 2019, and from then on nothing much has happened. So that's how it is as far as IndusInd Bank is concerned. So just to put it this how should I say, little bounce into context as the fact that it's been a very, very disappointing counter, and it has remained a part of the main indices for a very, very long while. Let's just find something interesting in the FNO space. I am also fed up of just talking about negative. Marico up 4%. Colgate Palmolive up 3.5%. So I think there is an interesting theme in Colgate. Again, let's see the long-term chart. There was a buyer who got in touch with me who had got the stock, I think, at 3,800. See, 3830 is the all-time high.
Yeah.
And he said, "Ye kya ho gaya?"
Oh God.
So I just told him, you bought a great company at a bad price.
Bad price, yeah.
Kunal ji, what do you think? 3-1% अब बढ़ेगा या नहीं? मतलब, is the worst over?
In fact, sir, yeah. So in fact, if you look at Colgate chart, it actually retested June 2024 low. And
Correct.
Recently on the daily chart, we can very clearly see the double bottom happening. In fact, today's one move is equivalent to 2 to 3 days move which we saw in November. So it's a very clear double bottom formation. अगर ये momentum continue होता है, then with the stop of 2,800, one can definitely initiate a buy. And this, which is looking trending on the weekly chart and available to us in the correction on the daily chart, might just continue its uptrend. So the targets can be 3200 to 3220, 3250 kind of levels.
Okay, got that. So that's Colgate. What about ITC? Kunal, are you looking at that one ahead of the demerger? Do you think that's something that investors can continue to look at, or do you think you will be more interested in ITC Hotels when it gets listed?
Exactly, Sakshi, again, this counter is not, it's just been lackluster since almost 6 months. Sideways consolidation, resistance at 465, support at 440 levels. It's just hovering between these two levels itself. So it's better to avoid ITC for now and focus on these counters which are showing good momentum and the reversal from the extreme low levels.
I think the PCI just gave a heart attack.
What did they show?
See,
Oh God.
please don't show it again.
Oh God.
So that's how it is, ladies and gentlemen. Just nothing to do. I remember, Sakshi, there was a time in 2001, post the dot-com bust till 2004, markets did nothing.
You know, something like this even I read yesterday. I think one of your dear friends, Ajay Bagga,
Yeah.
he also mentioned on Twitter yesterday,
Yeah.
I fear we go back to those times when for 4-5 years nothing will move in the market. Why are you even uttering that? I don't understand. That will give the biggest heart attack
Yeah.
to all those people who have entered post-COVID in the markets. And abhi tak to everybody is believing in the resilience of Indian stock markets. As now 4-5 years, I don't think that should happen at all.
I remember putting
the
out
worst thing.
chit fund rates on in the place where I used to work. So it was those were terrible 3 years. But I've given the Sakshi some very interesting data, and we'll just chart for you, ladies and gentlemen, the progress of monthly SIPs. We'll do December onwards. So the number that Sakshi currently gave was 26,000 crores. 1 year ago, same time, it was 17,500 crores. In December of 2023, that number was 13,000 crores. I'm just rounding it off so that it becomes easier in your mind to look at it. In December of 2022, it was 11,300 crores. I'm talking about monthly SIPs. And let me just take you back pre-COVID. It was 8,000 crores in December 2019, and hold your breath, it was 4,000 crores in December 2017. So from 4,000 in 2017 to 26,000 each month is the trajectory, ladies and gentlemen, and a full salute to the retail investor.
Absolutely. And it continues to do that,
Yeah.
showing despite this last 4 months of an absolute lackluster move on the markets and disappointment that continued on week basis as well.
And Sakshi, look at this interesting data that now I am seeing. So September we peaked, right?
Yeah.
So we have 24,500 crores in September. Markets have consistently fallen,
Yeah.
and
SIPs
SIPs have
have
risen.
increased.
So that is the beauty. So somebody deep down realizes buy the dip,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's the beauty.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, Kunal, we'll take one last word from you before we let you go. What do you think is the ideal strategy to have till the time Donald Trump takes office, till January 20th?
See, again, Sakshi, last 3 months, when we saw the markets being in sideways consolidation, stock-specific moves are very attractive. They are offering very good opportunities. I think one should focus only on stock specifics for now, unless and until Nifty goes up by, say, at least 500 points. One should not even look at indices. If you're an option seller and making something on the daily basis, then it's a different story. But otherwise, stock specific moves are likely to continue, and we should be focusing on those selected counters, selected pockets where the risk reward ratio is extremely favorable and the positional trend is on. I think there we can make really good.
Okay, and one more added point that our assignment has shared with us on the group shell on that SIP and the mutual funds data. A total of 34 new schemes were launched in the month of December as well.
Kya baat
So that also has got newer investments coming in onto those 34 schemes. And what they've also said is this is the 46th month of positive equity inflows starting March of 2021. 46 straight month.
क्या बात है.
That's the move that we are getting. So those are some interesting highlights that we wanted to share with you. Kunal, thank you so much for that insight and for being with us on the show. We hope the next
Pleasure,
time we
ma'am.
meet, we are meeting at higher levels as well on air. Let's now welcome viewers. Another guest. We have Swati Hotkar, AVP Technical Research at Nirmal Bang, now joining in on the show. Swati, good afternoon. Warm welcome. The last time also when we met, there was nothing exuberant about the markets. Even today, there is nothing exuberant about the markets. We are sitting on a day when the earnings have to kickstart with the TCS coming in right after the market. So we are all waiting with bated breath as to whether there are any signs of improvement. What are you doing in the markets right now?
Always remain cautious to bearish itself from the last few weeks, and we are continuously emphasizing that whatever the pullback rally we are getting into the market, that will be a short-lived. The trend will not be changed as long as Nifty doesn't give the breakout of 24,400 levels on the higher sides. Now, the cautious point for the today purpose is that whatever the rally we have seen in the from the May of 2024 towards to the high of 26,000 about that level, if we draw the trend line of that particular rally, today we can witness that on the weekly chart, Nifty is on the verge of giving the breakdown of that trend line, which is a very cautious sign. If the today Nifty maintains the closing below 23,500 levels, and so we are likely to see the extension of this fall towards to 23,000, and below that level 22,800 levels can be seen. So definitely the view is bit cautious to bearish in this particular market as of now. So we are just focusing more into the stock specific trading rather than the Nifty or the bank Nifty as such. So my view is a little bit cautious, but definitely stock specific rally we are trading into the market.
Good afternoon to you, Swati. A very warm welcome. So, till the time the markets turn, what should we do? Start sort of rehearsing and relearning our bear strategies, or should we stick with the bull bracket?
See, as of now, since Selji, I'm just mainly focusing into the stock specific trading only. Whatever the deeps we are getting into this kind of a market, one should utilize every correction as an opportunity to take a long position into the market. Because this fall, we might see some extension up to 10 to 15 trading session. But after that, once the budget goes out, then we might see the reversal into the market. So such kind of opportunity should be grabbed to build your portfolio on the longer term duration. So that is the basic idea one should apply it into this kind of a market. Don't need to worry on every fall as such. We already seen 10 to 12% fall into this market, but it over a period of time, definitely we are going to get a very good kind of a rally on the upward directions. So all the falls can be utilized to accumulate the quality counters in this market.
Okay. Let's discuss a few pockets then with you, Swati. Anywhere where you find more confidence coming in, do you think defensives like IT, Pharma, FMCG are the places to probably have fresh inputs coming in or fresh money be put in rather than the others?
Hey, frankly speaking, I'm not taking into consideration exactly the sectors. I'm not focusing whether I should focus on the IT or the consumer durable goods. I'm purely into the stock specific trading. If we look towards Reliance industry, looks very good at the current levels because we have already seen a very strong sell off in this particular counters. Now, from the month of the October, we have seen a correction from almost 1500 to 1200 odd levels. Now, the interesting fact that it has just formed the positive divergence on the low side. So, at the current level, the risk reward ratio is really favorable. So, one can take a long positions at the current market price. At least 20-30% can be accumulated at the current market price. We are looking for the upside of at least 1350 to 1400 from the here onwards. Another interesting pack looks good is Tata Consumer. If I am saying, if I am picking this particular counter, because in such kind of a market also, after a sharp fall we have witnessed in the last 2 to 3 months, the stock manages to give the breakout of short-term moving averages, say the 50 days moving average. And from the last 3 days, it's continuously maintaining a very positive closing above the same levels. If we look on the intraday chart, also we have seen a very good kind of a rally in this particular counter. So upside it looks very promising in this particular stock, and downside is really very limited. So one can focus on into the Tata Consumer. Another interesting fact is the Metro band. This particular counter is also looks very positive on the technical spot. I'm saying that the daily line chart indicates that it's on the verge of giving the breakout of a downward sloping trend line. So upside momentum can be seen up to 1350. Currently, the counter is trading at 1270. So one can take a long position by keeping a strict stop loss of 40 levels on the downside for immediate target of 1350. So I'm very choosy about this particular counters, whichever we are focusing on the stocks which are forming a nearly a strong technical setups patterns. We are just giving a buy call on those particular stocks.
Okay.
Swati, your view on medium-term outperformers based on the earnings expectations that you have for the third quarter. What is Nirmal Bang penciling in terms of earnings-based outperformers in Q3? Maybe a couple of stocks where you see strength on the charts?
As of now, being a technical analyst, I will not able to exactly focused on the Q3 for figures of that particular counters or say, but yes, definitely there will be a mixed results we can witness into this market. So I will suggest we need to keep an eye on the particular outcomes of that particular results on a stock specific, and accordingly we can definitely generate those calls as per the results come out. But on the technical spot, we can see that the rally, whatever the stocks giving before the result, we are trying to tap those particular counters where we can see the expectations are getting built up or the volumes and the price are getting built ups, and accordingly we can judge the sentiments of that particular stocks and whatever the results might be coming out. So we on that particular day we can say that this particular stock has already discounted, so we are trying to run those counters and we are trying to chase those rally into this particular stocks. But frankly speaking, being a technical analyst, I will not be able to talk on that the particular quarterly results figures or the outcome of that particular counters results as such.
Okay. Got that.
23,500 has been tested and 49,500 is also being tested. So a mild bounce from there on. We still have about 20 minutes left in trade today. This being the weekly expiry of the Nifty, and sequentially the Nifty has lost ground this week over previous week, except for Reliance, which has held on and provided adequate support. If you look at the week-on-week losers as far as the Nifty group is concerned, you will see a sharp deterioration when it comes to stocks such as ONGC. Trent is down 10%. Shriram Finance has lost 8%. Adani Ports, the weekly loss is 8%. ITC is a case of a demerger, so it's not sort of worrisome, but HDFC Bank, the heaviest weighted index, is down 7%. So that's how it is, ladies and gentlemen. And this is just the beginning of the list. I'm talking about losses on Tata Steel, Coal India, BPCL, top 5%. SBI is down 5%. What are the gainers? These are all stocks which have very little weightage in the index. Therefore, you haven't been able to make a net impact. ONGC up 6.7%, mainly on account of crude oil prices. Tata Consumer 4% high, SBI Life 3%, Britannia 2.7%. Really, it's just nothing. Let me just give you the index change on a weekly basis. It's 2.6% negative. Bank Nifty is 4% negative. Fin Nifty is 4% negative. Midcap 5%. That's how it is.
Okay, got that. So that's as far as how the markets are. Swati, have you been looking at the recent up move that we are looking at fertilizers and chemicals basket? Does it have to do with the pre-budget rally, and will it continue, more importantly?
Today we have seen a very good rally in these particular fertilizer packs, but those are, I believe, has been seen a very short-lived. Whatever the rally we have seen with the jumble fertilizer fact or the Deepak fertilizer, so I believe those are the rally which we have seen on the back of the bounce back rally, but we need to watch it out whether this particular rally sustains on the closing basis or not. But if you're looking towards these fertilizer sectors, definitely fact and Deepak fertilizer looks very good at the current levels as well, because we already have seen a strong foundation at around 1140. I'm talking about the Deepak fertilizer. 1140 is acting as a very crucial support level. So as long as it sustains above that level, I believe the this particular rally is likely to be extended towards to at least 1250 to 1300 levels. And today's the volumes are really good along with the price momentum. So this looks promising on the technical front. Another interesting fact is the fact this stock counter is also well placed above all the important moving averages, trading into formations of the high tops and higher bottom formations. So current levels, it's trading at the 962 odd levels. I believe 940 is acting as a very crucial support level provided by its 100 DMA moving averages. So one can take a long positions as well at the current market price. I'm looking for a target of 1000 and 1050 in this particular stock. So if you're looking for the any fertilizer counters, Deepak Fertilizer and the fact really looks good on the technical front.
Okay, got that. That's the move that we are seeing. What else is buzzing in the broadest index? Are there any interesting names? Recently listed Exicom Telesystems is up 5%. Electrotherm India is up 5%. You have Setco Automotive again from the auto pack, nothing too exciting there. India Auto Components, so some auto ancillary names that are pulling up, I believe. Apart from this, SRF we have already marked, I think it's 14% higher. GTPL has where there was this earnings move that we have actually seen on this one. CRM Silks is moving up 7% higher. Nothing out of the ordinary that we can probably discuss from the broadest index right there. Swati, anything catches your attention in the Nifty 500 names that we can look at carrying on the momentum in?
Yeah, on the technical front, Escort really looks good because whatever the rally we are witnessing from the last 10 to 15 trading sessions, the stock is under the very strong consolidation phase within the range of 30 to 50 and 33.50. Today it has given the breakout of the same level and the volumes are slowly and steadily it's moving ahead. Interesting fact, well placed about 20 days moving average momentum indicators such as the RSI showing a positive crossover. So the overall placement of this particular counter is really good. In this correction also the stock is up by almost by 1.7%. So the strength is remaining intact at the current level as well. So I believe that if you're looking for any auto pack stock, this stocks really looks very promising on the technical front. So those who are looking to take a buy call, definitely one can give a shot on the escorts buy side. Stop loss can be kept at 3320. I'm looking for a target of at least 3550 will be the first target, and beyond that 3600 levels can be seen. Another interesting fact is the just dial. This particular counter is just hovering nearby its important moving averages, say the 50, 100 and 200 DMA, and it is on the verge of giving the consolidation breakout. I'm preempting the breakout at the current level because the risk reward ratio is favorable. We try to preempt the breakout so that the stop loss can be kept at a very tight and upside can be seen on a higher levels. Currently, the counter is trading at 1076.78 levels. I believe it has a potential to reach up to 1150, 1170 levels on the higher side. So currently, one can go for a long positions by keeping a tight stop loss of 1050 for a target of 1180 on the high side.
Okay. Right, so that is as far as the expectation go there. What else then we can pick out? Okay, from the FMCG basket, particularly Swati, would you be looking at the large caps, names such as Britannia, HUL or Nestle, ITC? Do Dabur, Marico, with their updates coming in, are they looking more promising? How are you navigating through these fresh moves on FMCG?
Surely, Marico and HUL is one of my favorite counters in those particular packs. We are very positive on the HUL because it's already bitten up stock. We have seen a very sharp correction from 3000 levels towards to 2300, and it's continuously making a positive divergence on the daily charts. So this stocks also looks very good on the technical front. Upside, we can see a positive momentum can be carried forward to 2550 to 2580 levels. So more 100 points momentum can be seen into the HUL. So one can definitely chase those particular counters. On the Marico, yes, today also we have seen a very sharp move, more than 5% on the purely on intraday purpose. The stock is on the verge, has already given the breakouts of the important moving averages and trading in the formations of high tops, high bottoms, also the upward rising channel. So the overall technical setup is really positive on a shorter term as well as on a larger degree as well. This momentum rally can be continued towards to 690 to 700 levels. So definitely one can chase those two particular counters on the buy side from the FMCG bank.
So that's the move that is coming in as far as markets are concerned. I have done something very interesting, Sakshi. Let me just share it with you. I am of the view that Dabur has heavily outperformed the Nifty. Okay, now look at this data. Sorry, heavily underperformed the Nifty. So a 10-year graph is what I have made, and the Nifty has appreciated 3.3 times. Dabur has appreciated 2.2 times. So, you know, this, yes, this is absolutely the right graph that you have in front of us, but the percentage number is slightly okay. I mean, if you take that, then the underperformance is even more dramatic. All I'm trying to say is that sometimes companies have good names and investors buy into them, but they turn out to be very, very tepid performers in the market, and one must be really very, very careful in falling into this value trap. So that's what has happened for Dabur right in front of us, and yes, it's 189%. So that's what has happened. Today I am in a mood to give you so much of data which may disturb people who put in 26,000 crore rupees every month.
Okay.
I hate to do this for Hindustan Unilever.
Okay. HUL is something that even Swati said that she likes now, even technically. What is the next target that you expect, Swati, for HUL, and how soon do you see that?
2550 to 2600 levels I'm looking a target, because whatever the rally we have seen in the year 2024 from almost 2300 to 3000, the stock has already corrected 80% of its price correction we have seen. Now we might witness some sort of a reversal, and already the bottom has been formed nearby at least 2350 levels. So we are likely to witness the bounce back rally, which can we take a counter towards to 2600. Probably within a 2 to 3 weeks, we might witness 2600 levels on the high side. So definitely, it's one of the good counter to be taken into the long position.
320. There are just 10 more painful
Minutes.
minutes left for us to, you know, ask questions to Swati, and I'm very sure in her mind she's thinking कि क्या सवाल पूछे जा रहे हैं. How can I continuously smile such wonderfully well and keep on answering on questions that are unable to come out with stock trades? Swati, what is the plan for the weekend? I think that's a better question.
Tell me, frankly speaking, I have not any planned as such for the weekend. I'm little
You
bit.
don't get time on the weekend?
Nothing has been planned out as of now. Let's
Okay.
see.
I hope you're not working for L&T on the side, because the CMD of L&T now wants people to, his employees to work on Sunday as well.
Oh.
So let's look at the stock graph of L&T. Let's see whether working on Saturdays is helping L&T or not. I think it isn't. So this is the intraday chart, and the 6th-month chart will also show. So first we had Mr. Narayan Murthy wanting people to work 70 hours a week, and here is the CMD of L&T, who now wants people to, his employees to work on Sunday as well. And I think the comment that he made was not in good taste. Be that as it may, let's hope we find a new hobby in the market fairly soon. Sakshi, is going to be very, very difficult to sort of daily wait for a 50, 60, 70 point cut and then ask kya acha lagta hai, kya le, kya na le.
Very difficult. I hope things improve for the better. in the markets very, very soon. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult, and we will have to introduce newer innovative segments into the show to continue to keep our viewers' interest logged in into the show as well. So that's going to be even more difficult.
I think we are going to launch a segment in which we will talk about the top performing mid-cap stock in a particular week, in a particular month. Okay, let me just start with this one. Let's find out the best performing mid-cap stock and the mid-cap 100 index in the week that is, okay, let's do month to date तो कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, week to date पे भी नहीं होगा. Okay, SRF, wow. Chalo, this is a good talking point. है ना? Sundaram Finance. I've been talking about this one for so many days. Okay, so it's BDL, it's SRF, and it's Phoenix Mills. Phoenix is of course post bonus readjustment. UPL, yes, this is a very interesting stock. UPL we haven't talked for 3 years now, and again it's the agrochem space which has corrected very sharply. This is the sees actually such interesting things you and I can discuss. Okay, week to date top performer in Nifty small cap index. Well, Naveen Fluorine. Okay, Aegis Logistics, Credit Access Grameen. Okay, Aegis Logistics hit two good circuits on Tuesday and Wednesday, and even today it's up. Interesting. So we can pass time, don't worry.
Okay, 8 minutes to go before we shut shop for the day today.
Swati, I hope we are not boring you.
Not at all.
Okay, 8 minutes to go. Swati, in the FNO space, where are you keeping your attention on? Apart from SRF, what else is looking good here?
Currently, as Shelly has also pointed out, UPL and the BDL is definitely one of those counters which we have already given a buy call on the BDL. This particular stock is really looking very good given the breakout of a symmetrical triangle formation. The only concern is that it's just taking a strong resistance of 200-day moving average, but probably it's definitely likely to give the breakout of that level as well. Today, on an intraday basis, we have seen that this particular counter has just tested that level, but somehow due to the market we are witnessing some sort of a downfall. But overall setup is definitely positive. 1170 is acting as a very crucial support level, so as long as it sustains above that level, a positive momentum can be seen into the BDL. We are looking for a target of 1250 to 1270 level, so this call looks very good. Now in fluoro, we have already yesterday given the buy call in this particular round, and already we have seen a very good amount of a rally on today's intraday purpose. So those who are having any long positions, they can definitely hold on. Downside 3780 is acting as a very swing supports level, so as long as maintain that levels, one can definitely hold on this particular counter. UPL is the one can take a long positions at the current market price as well, because the stock is under the formation of a flat pattern if you look towards the purely intraday charts as such, and probably it's very soon it's like to give the breakout of the same levels, and I'm looking for a upside towards 580 to 590 levels. So this is the one of the good counter we are keeping a track on the technical front.
Okay, Sakshi, another theme that I'd like to show you on screen is the stock of fact. This is Fertilizers and Travancore Limited, Fertilizers and Chemicals Travancore Limited. After many days, it crossed back into the 1,000 rupee space, 4 digits. And early morning, it was looking good because SRF was moving, Naveen was moving. You had Deepak Fertilizer up in the green. Many other agro stocks were doing well. I'm talking about fact. If you can just show us on the screen, PCR, and look at the price now. It's got sold into the entire rally, and this is the worrisome part, that people are now waiting at specific levels on the stock to press intraday sales, and this is what is causing this one-sided slip in the market. The Nifty still down 145, but 23,500 has been tested, and I have no doubt in my mind that somewhere next week you'll see it go. So 23,263 will be tested. Sakshi.
Absolutely, we'll keep an eye out on that too. Well, let's look at the weakest spot today. And that is the real estate pack, 2.6% lower. Now we do know there has been an outperformance for at least 2 to 3 years in a row for the real estate index, and many stocks have actually turned great wealth creators like Macrotech for that instance. So from the time it got listed, it's given multi-bagger returns to investors. Many others have been looking promising, and they've been showing great upticks as well. What is your own sense in the real estate space particularly? Are you enthused with the current valuations at all anywhere, Swati?
Yeah, on the technical front, I'm not much positive into the real estate sector as of now, but definitely, probably during a budget, we might witness some sort of a good rally into these particular sectors, and among those, among the stocks from this particular sector, Loda looks very good or promising because on the fundamental front, also this particular count is really doing very well. On the technical front, as of now, it is testing the supports of the 200-day moving average. If you're getting any deeps towards to 1250, 1260 levels, one can accumulate this particular stock. We might witness some sort of a bounce back rally back towards to 1450 to 1500. So I will be positive into the Loda. If you're getting any deeps, we can grab an opportunity to take a long positions on a longer term horizon.
327. And Sakshi, yesterday's two all-time highs were Ashiana Housing and Anantraj. Both of them are Delhi-based builders. They posted a very, very sharp uptick in price yesterday, down 4% on Ashiana Housing today. And let's also look at Anantraj, down 4%. So this is what is happening, that today's hero is yesterday's extra, and that is how markets are progressing from now on. I think I'm going to take up a new hobby, and we will be discussing about that on air, given the way markets are shaping up. Last 4 months have been on a daily basis waiting for FIIs to have some sense, but their sense is that we must exit emerging markets and head back to the US shows till Mr. Trump assumes office. So Jan 20th, Sakshi, is the time when this slow but certain decline in Indian assets will continue. And let's hope once President Trump is on the driver's seat, then we will have sensible Twitter messages coming in from him, not taking over Panama Canal, not getting Mexico to build that wall, not taking over Canada, and certainly not Greenland.
Absolutely. 1 minute to go before we shut shop. Macquarie has come out with its own FY26 budget expectations this time around. I'll just read out a few things from what they have mentioned. Now they believe the FY25 estimated fiscal deficit is likely to be achieved at 4.9%, and for FY26 the target could be 4.5%, which is good. They also believe focus this time around in the budget will be to boost consumption. They also expect a cut in personal income tax rates and a potential enhancement to the ELI scheme as well. That's what they are expecting. Another thing that they have mentioned is that the FY25 estimated capex is going to be missing the budget estimate by about 1.5 lakh crore rupees. That is in line with what the markets have been having. But they believe capex growth should be better in FY26 estimated. Now, what they also believe is that reviving capex and consumption, sticking to fiscal deficit targets will be on top of the government's radar. For the BFSI space, they believe there will be no change in tax rates or credit guarantee scheme for MFIs particularly. In the infra space, they are going to be watching out for capex allocations across ministries and initiative to boost any defense exports. Consumer space, they believe concrete measures to revive consumption like tax cuts, higher allocation towards rural schemes could be in the offing. In gold, they believe no change to custom duty will be done already. This was done last time. And they also believe a mid to high single digit increase in taxes on cigarettes could come in. So that will again bring back the attention to ITC, Godfrey Phillips. Commodities, they believe there could be measures to address dumping from China, import as well as safeguard duties right there. So those are some of the expectations that Macquarie has come in.
You know, Sakshi, what is going to happen? So all tax rises that Macquarie is expecting will happen, and there will be no relief
cuts.
on
knew you would say that.
Because see, GST numbers are slowing down, right? Every single tax cut, every single tax measure that over the last 8 months that we measure as a quick indicator for the economic growth has either paused or headed lower. So no income tax cuts are coming, no GST revamp is happening, but whatever expectations are there in terms of rising taxes, especially on cigarettes, last 3 years there hasn't been any increase. So ITC,
Okay.
ports.
Okay, got that. Well, Swati, we will wrap it up at that. Thank you so much for being with us and helping us navigate through these absolutely lackluster move on the market. 23,526. Let's hope this improves tomorrow and then in the next week. And of course, tomorrow is when markets will react to TCS numbers. So we're keeping our fingers crossed as to how that one really comes about. But do stay tuned on to Business Today, as even beyond the market hours, there's a lot for you to really look at, especially on the earnings front today.
Flame fury is ravaging across California. The devastating fires have consumed over 1,000 structures and burned over 5,000 acres of area. The largest and out-of-control fire in Pacific Palisades has stretched emergency services